Welcome to Feature Educators Talk with Damian Darren. I am your co-host, Damian Anderson.
And I'm Darren Fret.
Back with us today is Mr. Luther.
How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today?
All right.
Very good. Very, very good.
Yes. Wednesday. Um, Today's Wednesday, so very good, very good.
Yes,
So so today on this Wednesday, we are going to talk about the topic for today is do districts actually want black male teachers? So let's just hop right into that. So what do y'all think of this? Because that just I just want to hear y'all thoughts on this topic.
well, do you mean do districts really want us black males to be teachers, or do you mean do they just want us to be disciplinaries? Because that's what it really boils down to. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense of what I'm saying. Don't
Mm-hmm.
tell me one thing about, oh, I want you to come in and I want you to change the epidemic of how our kids are being taught. And then 5 minutes later, it goes from, well, that's not what I really want you to do. I want you to be the person who just disciplinaries our kids. So don't worry about the academic portion of it. So what are you really recruiting me for?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're just gonna be honest with me, just say, hey, Mr. Luther, I don't want you to come in here and do history. I want you to just be a ISP teacher, or I just want you to just make sure that all the kids are being disciplined how they need to. And if they're not, then they'll come see you and then you help do a behavioral plan with them. Or tell me this, hey, Mr. Luther, your job is to come in here. I want you to teach history. This is what I expect from you. But at the same time, I want to make sure that your classroom management is where it needs to be also. But they don't never want to tell you that, especially in my district. Because in my district, they're just full of it. Because they want us to be the disciplinary. They don't care if we teach the kids. They want us to be the disciplinary, especially to our black boys.
Mm.
Every time a young man get in trouble, go to Miss Luther class. Go to Miss
Mm.
Luther class. Or go to Mr. John's class. Or go to Coach Key. Like, no. No, that's not what I signed up for. Because two things I know for sure. I came here to teach, to make sure that these kids get to where they got to get to. And you
Mm-hmm.
told me when you talked to me face to face that you wanted me to come here and teach history, not to be a disciplinary. So, which lets me know that you have no type of order nor leadership to where you can handle your children,
Yeah.
or you're bringing in the wrong teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. I totally agree with you on that. Like, I just don't quite like understand that. Like, why like bring in like I just like to me like I don't understand like why like do that to like us like black male teachers like do that to us like be like if you want us like do that like I just to me like that just like frustrates me like be like the this I to me that's just I don't know that just like really just like that just like upsets me. Like they just like want us to be like this, like this banal. I just that
Mhm.
just like bugs me to death. That's just I don't know. It just I just like don't get it. To be honest, I just don't.
I mean, what is there really to get? You get what I'm saying? Like, and it just
Yeah,
depends on like the city or the state that you're in. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
we can
Mhm.
go back to Monday. Like I said, in Texas, like the um people that I know, the networking that I've done, they see me as a teacher. But they also understand that we know that Mr. Luther classroom management skills are where they need to be, because we know his kids know as soon as they step in the room, they know what time it is. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When they come in my class, they already know headphones out, phone in my book bag, paper and pencil ready to go, because we know we about to get class rocking. I don't even have to tell them twice. But now I got a teacher 2 doors down coming to knock on my door, telling me that little Matthew down there acting silly. Hold on, you taking away from my engagement time with my kids, because we're learning. So you telling me I got to stop to do what I'm doing to go make sure that little Matthew is doing okay? And then when little Matthew see me, he already know what time it is. And now all of a sudden you want to stop me again? Well, how do you get him? What do you mean? It's called classroom management. It's called putting your foot down. It's called doing your job. You're a teacher, right? That's what you signed up to be. Are you a teacher? Do you know how to handle this? Because if you don't know what you're doing, then maybe we need to find some PD on how to, you know what I'm saying, do classroom management. And maybe we need to find a PD on what it means and what you want from us black male teachers, because apparently y'all giving us a runaround. You sound good in person, but behind the scenes, is that really what you want? But you only do it because you don't want to be racist, or we don't want to make it seem like we're just not wanting minorities in the school, if that makes sense.
Darren, what do you think of this?
I mean, really, the way I see it is that with our black male teachers, you know, them students won't have that, you know, that father figure in somebody's life. That's what I feel like. Without them, they won't have someone to look up to. So it's important to have that black male teachers, because some of the kids, they don't have a father, right? So it's important to, you know, to have, you know, educators like Mr. Luther to come in and teach students and get to know them, you know their story. And last season, in the last season, we talked about how, you know, everybody has a different story. You know, just like me and Damien, we have a different story, but we know the same. We have the same similarities, but we each have a different story. Everybody has a story, you know. So it's important to, you know, to have that black male teacher so that they can understand the students, what they're going through, because they've done that. You know, they've done that. You know the saying, done that, do this, done that, and stuff like that. Now they can share their experiences of what, you know, what they've done, you know, as a student. Now they can teach them of, you know, what they did. So it's important to have black male teachers in schools.
I totally agree with you on that. Having that father figure.
I mean, being more than just a father figure, being the mentor, being a big brother, whatever you want me to be. You want me to be uncle, you want me to be granddaddy, you get what I'm saying? I'll be that for you. Because at the end of the day, if you tell me that's what you missing, then guess what? I'm a be that person. You're telling me right now, Damien, if you told me right now, hey, Miss Luther, I just need a coach in my life that's gonna push me to get where I gotta get to. Well, when I see that basketball practice today, guess what I'm gonna do for you? I'm gonna push you like you need to be pushed, but I'm gonna push you to where you're not gonna hate it, but I'm gonna push you to where you know, like, okay, this is what he means when he says this, and this is what I'm getting when he told me to go here and I went that way instead. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, you're still loving what you do. If you want me to be a father in the classroom, I'm going to be a father in the classroom. But guess what? As the head of that classroom, you got to follow my rules and my procedures. At the same time, I'm going to give you the freedom of what you want to do, but be respectable about it. If I give you an inch, don't take it a mile. You get what I'm saying? Use what I'm giving you as the resources of, okay, if Mr. Luther is saying we got 15 minutes to do this presentation, he never said that we couldn't pull out our cell phones to use the resources and research. He never said that. But why are we over here being on Snapchat? And you get what I'm saying? See, now you've taken what I've said and now you're trying to do extra with it when it's a resource. That's what the cell phones are for. I've never had a problem with children using cell phones in my class. Matter of fact, when my kids come in, they already know the instrumental gonna be on. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we're making this, but that's me. Because I like music. When they first saw me, that's what they really. And Mr. Luther be on that, you know, he on top of his stuff. I ain't that old, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're not going to play it lyrically, but I can play the instrumental for you. And when those kids come in, they know within that time frame, they're getting their board work. They're getting, what are we going to do today? And now we're ready to get into the class. But that's because that's the type of atmosphere that I wanted in my classroom, like we talked about with the math and things like that, and not making it boring and making sure that we're engaging all our kids. But the important thing about that is when you ask me to be a black male teacher, or if you're recruiting me to come to your school, you know what the first thing that I do? I don't wait for y'all to say we're going to have open house or we're going to have meet the teacher. I want to meet my students right then and there. So tell me who I'm getting from the previous year, who's coming to my classroom, and then within 2 weeks, I want to meet them. Because I want to see what they're about. I want to know your story. I want to know where you come from. Not a lot of teachers do that either. We just wait till the parent-teacher or you get what I'm saying, or the open house to want to put on the front as if we really care. But then, you know, like some of them teachers don't. I want to know where you come from. Why did you do this? Why are you going down this path? What is it that you really want to accomplish? Not in just social studies, not in just math, not in just science, English, and reading. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you're wanting to get away from? What makes you so angry that when I looked at your sheet of who you are as a person, your behavior is just off the charts. But why is that though? And see, so now when you start digging in deep and wanting to build that personal relationship with, now the student looking at like, okay, hold on, let me backtrack for a second. Why was I acting a fool in Miss Linda's class last year? Okay, because maybe my dad got incarcerated. You understand what I'm saying? I haven't seen my dad in about 5 years. Or maybe my mom passed away and I can't really do nothing when I'm at my grandma's house because they're old and I just you get what I don't know what they expect from me because they can't do so much with me. So what are our kids coming from? But they don't tell you that when they recruit you. You understand what I'm saying? They want to paint you a picture. And our county is this. No, your county is that on the other side of town. Because you already did what you said you was gonna do. Let's just be honest with you. You kicked out all the troublemakers. Why you think your school where it is? Because you didn't want to deal with them. So now you ship them somewhere else, and we care about you and we want to get you where you got to get to. And this is why we want you to go to this school. That ain't why you want me to go to that school. You want me to go to that school because, like we just said, you want me to be the disciplinary. You don't want me to teach over there for real.
Yeah, they need to, stop doing that. Really, they need to stop doing that because, like you said, your job is to teach, and that's it. Not to be, an ISS or ASO teacher, ASO. Your job is to teach, and that's it. That is it. Your job is to teach the kid. That's it. Not to be a, ISS teacher, because you don't have time. Like you said earlier, you have to make time to figure out what's going on. Why the student is acting up. Now you got to stop whatever you're doing, and you have to figure out why this student is acting up in somebody else's class. You know? So, you know.
Which is.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just want you. I wanted you to finish because I was gonna piggyback off what you said, but I just wanted you to finish. I was just agreeing with what you were saying.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, you know, this kind of like frustrates me because, you know, I feel like, again, your job is to teach. That is it. Nothing else. There's no subcategory under teaching. You know, there's no bullet points under teaching. Your job is to teach. That is it. That's your only simple job for, I don't know how long. I don't know how many hours, 7 to 8 hours. That is it. You don't have time for, you know, you don't have time to stop the class and figure out what that student is misbehaving for in a different class. You don't have time for that. Your job is to keep on teaching so that the students is learning in your class. That is it. That is it. That's wasting your time. That's wasting your energy, and you don't have time for that. You really don't. You know. So, yeah.
But you know what kills me? You know what kills me when you go to these recruiting events and things like that, when they say, we really need you. You do? You sure? Or you just saying that because you want me to come over to your table? You get what I'm saying? Like every time they see, when I was at the educational fair at A&T, as soon as I walked in the door, it wasn't even 5 seconds. This lady, I really need to talk to you because we really need you. Hello, my name is Luther. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, can I get an introduction? Like, don't try to fool me with the okie doke. Like, you don't really need me. You need your numbers. Or either you're trying to kiss my tail right now because you don't have no men in your school. And why is that? And then when you start asking those questions, now it goes from, hey, I really need you, to, well, here's my business card, and if you ever decide that you looking for a field to teach or want to be a part, you can always email me. No, what's wrong? Because you were just hyped 5 seconds ago. Did I trigger a nerve because I asked you a question? Or are you just looking at me to be the different? Because we really need a basketball coach. Okay, but that's not my only job. I love coaching basketball, don't get me wrong, but when I gave you my resume said that I have experience as being a paraprofessional while I was in school. I have experience of being a substitute teacher because once I was done, my classes was online. So guess what? I had the experience of keep doing teaching. You get what I'm saying? So I'm subbing because I'm building up my resume, but I'm building up that classroom participation and learning to make sure that if a teacher tells me they need me to put together a lesson plan, I know what I'm doing. Don't come to me because hey, we really need you, and hey, can I come talk to you, if you're not really wanting me to do what it is that I am setting out here to do. And that's to be a teacher. Recruit me to be a teacher. So that way, when I do post on the ground, when I do post on Snapchat, guess what these other black males see? Hey, you know what? That county out there is doing their thing. Hey, when I hear about that county, they're really treating their black male teachers like, they really are important to them. They're not just making them disciplinary, like they're letting them do their thing, like they're letting them think outside the box. You get what I'm saying? So, like, allow me to do what it is that I need to do. You have a behavior specialist at your school, right? You have all these other people lined up to what they need to be, then they need to do their job. And if that kid is getting out of hand, then you need to call them. Don't suspend them off rip. I'm not saying that. but you need to call him and we need to get to the bottom of it. But don't interrupt me for me to go, oh, because he can just talk to Mr. Luther. And no, he need to talk to you. Build a relationship with them. You've been here 12 years. I'm only been here for a year. You mean to tell me out of the 12 years, you like I said before, you still ain't got no classroom management? Out of the 12 years you've been here? And then you want to make up an excuse? Oh, well, when I was in elementary school, this ain't elementary school, boo-boo. This right here, this is middle school. This right here, this is high school. These kids are feeling themselves now. They're growing up. They're going through some things now. They're not what they used to be when they was in 1st through 5th. They're going through stuff. Puberty level is getting there now. Like, they're smelling themselves. They're ready to bulk up. No, we're not bulking up. No, you're not going to get bulk with me. No. Because one thing for sure, I'm not going to lose my job. And for two, I'm not going to be on the level that you're trying to make me to be on. Once you establish those ground rules, and they already know, yeah, that classroom right there, don't even try it. Don't even try it. Because he ain't even with it. Love you to death. We can have fun, but you will respect me from beginning to the end. And the same way you respect me in this classroom, you need to do that in your other classroom. But we don't want to go down. We don't want to talk about that situation either, because, you know, you doing good in your classroom. Now you got the other teachers in the hallway jealous of you because they, oh, well, who he think he is and who she think. I'm just doing what God has wanted me to do, and that's to teach. That's what you brought me here for. And now you want to run to the principal, making it seem like he's causing so many problems. All the kids, all the kids just love him and they respect him. But then as soon as they get in my class, they just disrespect me. And it's just like, as soon as they come, exactly, as soon as they come from his class, it's this and that. Okay, so why not be woman enough or man enough to say, hey, Mr. Luther, or, you know, Mr. Kendall, whoever it is, when you're on planning, since we're on planning at the same time, can we talk and can you give me some ideas of what I can do better? Because I see when the kids are in your classroom, this is how they engage with you. And so this is what I like to do, but can you show me how to incorporate that with my classroom management? Now, guess what? We on the same page. Y'all took me down this road. Yeah. Y'all took me down this road. I just feel like we got to put it on the table. We got to put it on the table because don't nobody want to put it on the table.
Hey, this is why we create this podcast, because nobody really wants to talk about it, and you know, this is one of the topics that nobody really address this topic. So thank you so much.
Yep.
You know, because everybody want to paint this picture like they doing all good. Come on now, why we flexing like that? And you know, with social media, if y'all want to be honest, tell me how many posts you've seen that's really been positive about somebody doing classroom management, teaching their kids, making sure that their kids get to where they got to get to, making sure that when they do their data, their kids are reaching those goals. How many of those messages do you really see on Twitter? You hardly see any. You see what you see the I'm so sick of this. I can't do this no more. These people getting on my nerves. They you are human, right? You do have a brain of your own. And stop showing me the pictures on Instagram about your classroom all the time and how your classroom looks. And this is what I did. No, show me what you're really doing. Be real with yourself. Because that way, if whatever you're going through and you're following somebody who's maybe been through that same situation as you, guess what they can do for you now? They can help you. Because now they can hit you in your DM and say, hey, I went through that, but this is what I came up with. And this is maybe can be suitable for you in your classroom and what you're going through. But everybody got pride. And everybody want to show the good side of what they're doing. When really deep down inside, they hurting and crying for help.
There's always another side. So
Absolutely.
I just feel we gotta do better. I just feel as people in general, they don't matter what your race is, we have to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Recruit me to be a teacher. If Damien wants to teach math, guess what I'm recruiting Damien to do? To teach math. If Matthew, guess what, Matthew? I'm sorry, you can't come in my classroom today. You can't. So you gonna have to go wherever you need to go, because I can't tend to him right now, because I got to make sure that my kids are getting what they need, because we do know math is one of the top subjects that we struggle in. And if I'm getting my kids where they got to get to, I can't have them missing the boat, because I got to stop stop myself from teaching to focus on you. That ain't fair to Damien. That ain't fair to the students, and that's not fair to the kids who's really struggling and are really now realizing that, hey, I'm really getting this, and now you got to come in here because you acting a fool. Nah, but that's when the students start getting irritated, because now they looking at him like, man, I'm finna fight you, because this your 4th time this week coming to this class.
Yep.
That's the waste of time, and that's the waste of energy.
Yeah. Out of your time.
Because now you got to spend a whole lot of time on Matthew versus on your students.
Exactly.
So like, you just like, didn't I just speak to you already? Like, this is your 4th time coming in this classroom. Like, what's going on?
Like,
you know, what's really going on? Like, I need to know, because something is not adding up. Because right now I'm spending most of my time trying to figure out what's going on. Why are you coming to my classroom 4 times? And I'm spending a whole lot of time on you versus spending my time with my students. So, like, I need to know. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Get to the bottom. But then at the same time too, now let's throw in, not only was Damien interrupted, let's throw in, not only was Damien can't teach the children and get them on the same page. Now when it's time to take the statewide test for the grading of the school, guess what Damien data lies in that? But you think they're gonna really care about that though? Now they want to go to him. Oh, you wasn't oh, no. Hold on. Because now if I got to lose my job today because I got to put you in your place, because I was teaching my students. But it seems like every time I get in with like 20 minutes of my lesson, I get a knock at the door and Matthew at the door. And I told y'all previously in the email, hey, y'all need to come see about Matthew. And if you think I'm lying, here's every email that I sent you. Now all of a sudden you trying to test my authority. How? My kids didn't fail because of me. My kids didn't fail because they didn't know it. My kids couldn't grasp the concept of the things that I was showing them because I had to deal with Matthew.
Yeah. Something needs to be changed dramatically in upcoming years for us, or probably in some years that me and David become teachers, but something needs to be changed.
And that's why I said what I said. I really like the podcast that you got. Like, I've had a chance to really sit down and listen, and what y'all do are great. But the vision that I pray that God allows y'all to do is like a summit, because I promise if people can just hear it face to face and just understand what it is that you all are wanting to push, and then you start getting in people who's really on that train with y'all, I'm telling you that things can get so better. But then again, you know, you're gonna have your prideful people, and you know, the people who that's not really gonna work. No, it'll work if they open their ears and listen. I had a dude tell me, if you was to talk to me about being a teacher, and because you're a first year teacher, I wouldn't listen to nothing you have to say. I said, wow. I said, really?
Oh, okay. Wow.
I said, so. I say, so, but you a brother. I said, I'm supposed to be your brother. I said, and instead of lifting me up and saying, hey, you know what? I hear you want to go into motivational speaking. And even though I know you might not have the experience as far as teaching, you should still, you get what I'm saying, speak on it, because then that way you can gain more wisdom from others who've been in the classroom longer than you. And then that way they can help guide you as you, continue on your career as a teacher. Not tell me I ain't gonna listen to you. But we supposed to be brothers, right? I'm supposed to be your keeper. No. And then you wonder why, you don't get certain males to want to come and teach because of this. Because some of y'all brothers done been in the game so long, y'all feel like y'all done arrived when you haven't. When till this day you're still a target and you don't even realize it. Because as soon as you sneeze wrong, guess who they getting rid of first? And Mr. Kendall down the hallway, I ain't making this no racial thing. I'm not saying it like that, but let's just be honest about the situation. Who are they gonna get rid of first? And then you want to come up here on Twitter talk about, oh, I need the support of my brothers. No, where was the support when I was going through? Where was the support when I was down in a bundle and I came to you and talked to you and you turned your back on me? But the only difference between me and you, I ain't gonna turn my back on you. I'm gonna help uplift you. Because at the end of the day, you never know when you're gonna need me again. Mm-hmm. And what if I'm that principal that's looking for a person to fill a position? Guess who you might have to come see? But you think I'm gonna hold a grudge against you? No. Why? Because I know what you're capable of doing and I know how you can benefit these children. So I'm gonna hire you, brother. You're gonna do what you need to do.
That kind of hurt right there.
Yeah.
With like, hold on, wait a minute. Ain't we brothers? Like we're supposed to support each other, but you're not gonna hear everything, my problems as a first year teacher. Like you don't want to, like, really? Okay, well, I just find somebody else that would support me and uplift me, and that's kind of, it's like stabbing in the back. Like, are you serious? Like, you're not gonna hurt me? Like, okay, that's fine. I'll just go find another brother that would help me out. I mean, I don't have to go to you. I can just find somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Well then.
It hurts. You get, because you see it, like, and it's sad. It's sad. You know what I mean? Like, and then you wonder why people gravitate to something else, but then you still want to throw shade at them. But they were just in my face the other day telling me they want to do this and do that. Okay, I was in your face telling you and explaining you the things that was on my mind and how we can do things different and get our kids where we got to get to. Don't try to throw shade on me to make it seem like I was in your face begging you to no, because people like change their story around. No. And then you talk about another reason what the dishes wanting to do to get black males. Some of these dishes, they lie. Oh well, this is how much they made previous, but if you come on, this is how. You don't have to do that, because I'm not here. Like I told y'all before, I'm not here for the money. Because at the end of the day, God gonna make a way for me regardless. I'm here for these kids. Yes, I am pursuing my master's, and Lord's will, I will have my master's next year. And yes, if I do get an increase of a 5,000 bonus, then guess what? That's fine. That is fine. And guess what? I'm still gonna be coaching. That's another stipend. Guess what? That is fine. But if you're gonna pay me for what I'm doing. When you come in my classroom and you see the classroom management, you see my kids engaging, you see how my kids having fun while they're learning, you see how my kids are just intertwining with everybody else. That's what you pay me for. Pay me for that. Pay me for that. Hit me up and say, yo, I see that you called out today and you had a sub. Is everything okay with you? Let's get back to that. Let's get back to that cohesiveness and that tight culture. Where if somebody was out, you reaching out to them, hey, everything good? Because hey, if you need me to, I know this time and this time I'm free. So you really don't have to call in a sub because we're on the same team and we're on the same hall. We're teaching the same subject. I can go ahead and just bring your class and combine it with my class and they can get the same thing in the same day. Why we can't do that?
Yeah.
I will probably be that type of teacher that does that too. To see, what's going on or what's wrong. Be that type of that teacher. If a if a teacher causing sick or whatever, I'm like, what's going on? I mean, I can teach for you. I mean, you don't have to necessarily call it sub. I mean, I can, go in there and teach the subject for you. I mean, you don't have to worry about it,
Exactly. But we don't do that. Why? Because we feel if you come in the classroom, you're just going to make my kids not like the way I do things. I never said that. Mm-mm. How you teach it, I might just teach it a different way. Don't mean they're not getting the same thing. They just might grasp it a little different. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it. But you want to throw this in my face. I've been here for 35 years. Okay. You got it. You got it. You've been here for 35 years. That is fine. And what that got to do with the Presbyterian channel? Nothing. It has nothing to do. Are your kids growing? Since you've been here for 35 years. Within your 35-year tenure, have your kids grown? Has your data went from the 35 percentile of lowest kids who couldn't do math up to at least 60% kids are now passing math in your 35 years? Or reading or English or whatever it is. Then you start asking those questions. Once again, we back to, so you trying to sit up here and test me like I don't know what I'm doing. I never said that. You threw that in my face that you've been here for 35 years. I didn't say nothing about that. But this is what they don't want us to talk about though. But you want me to come to your school. You want to recruit me to teach at your school. 2 reasons why men don't teach at school. They don't want the drama and the pay.
Right on that.
But then when you get real people who genuine like me, Damien, you, and others, it's still a problem. Because you're trying to take my spot. Mm-hmm. Take your spot where? Where we going? Where we going? Jamaica? Where we going? I just want to know what spot I'm taking. If we going on a cruise or something, I'd love to take your spot on the cruise. But you talking about the kids? Nah, man, I'm not trying to take your spot. No, we supposed to be coming together. Do you understand? The more tension that you bring with me, that's the same tension you're going to get from your class. Oh, you didn't know that, huh? Because your classroom management skills ain't what you thought they were. Because you're being ignorant right now. You don't want to admit to it. You are so prideful. Now, when your kids come and give you how you are, you don't know how to handle it. You created that. You did that. Now get off your tail and get off your high horse and fix it. But y'all want to paper trail the children too. And you want to send them home. Or don't come
fix the problem.
Not fix the problem. And I got another one for you too. Don't come during the week that we had the big test. Because you know your number's going to go low. Oh. We don't want to talk about that either. You don't want to talk about that.
Well.
Oh man.
If I'm pressing buttons out there on this podcast, it ain't nothing against y'all. It ain't. Because I have nothing but respect. I don't care if I don't know you. I have respect for educators, period. My mom's an educator. Like, even what my mom go through, at the same time, my mom know how to keep her composure. And my mom know how to be professional. But then when my mom needs to holler at you one-on-one, guess what? She does it in a professional manner. And that's the respect that my mom gives, especially as her being a reading coach. You get what I'm saying? Like, my mom's a reading coach. So if anything pops off and those kids not where they got to get to, my mom know how to swallow that pill and say, all right, let me regroup. Let me see what was wrong. And let me get these kids to where they got to get to. That's what a professional teacher does. Not the one who wants to sit up here and want to gossip because you did this, you did that, and I ain't. No, we not. No, that's the problem. We have to stop being in the teachers' lounge gossiping all the time about what somebody else ain't doing. And how about you help them? Be the problem solver. Stop being the one that run people away. And then when your principal started to realize, well, God darn, I had like 50 teachers at my school, and now I only ended up with 15. And I wonder why.
See, this is again, this is why we have special guests on here to, share their opinions, share their thoughts on this. So there may be, a little disagreement here and there, but at the end of the day, people are going to have, opinions about it. People are going to have different opinions. Some of them might agree with it, and some of them might disagree with it. It's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like,
yeah,
like, oh no, it's okay to have disagreements, or it's okay to have disagreements. I mean, it's not like I don't like your podcast. Okay, we're gonna still keep going, regardless if you don't like this podcast. We're still keeping going.
Exactly.
I don't care how you don't like this podcast. We're still going to keep it going. And then later down the road, when we're making, success, we're going to be like, yeah, so weren't you the person that just said that you don't like our podcast? Well, we're doing big things.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for motivating us, because you said that you don't like our broadcast. We would like to thank you for that.
And thank you for saying you don't like my style of teaching either, because at the end of the day, my kids growing, and when the data shows that my kids are where they need to be, thank you, because that shows you that what you told me wasn't gonna stop me from doing what I need to do.
Yep. So we have a question of the day for this topic. The question of the day is, are black male teachers actually wanted? And if not, why don't more districts want black male teacher? So we want to know, what do you think of that? So let us know by using the hashtag Future Educators Talk on our Twitter and Instagram, and on our Facebook page. On Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter by using the hashtag Future Educators Talk and Future Educators Talk S2.
And you said that's the question of the day? That's the question. I mean, like I said before, I'm gonna just answer just from my standpoint. I am wanted, but I am wanted for the right reason. Now, I'm not wanted just to be a disciplinary. I'm not wanted just to be the basketball coach. I am wanted because they seen something in me. They seen what I can do, and that's what we're doing. And we're growing as one. We're not a family that's deserted from one another. We come together. So yes, they wanted me for the right reason. And there's a lot of brothers out here who do want to be teachers and who do want to make an impact on these kids' lives, not just at the rec, not just at the football field. They want to actually make differences in these kids' lives being a teacher. But put us in the right situation. Don't put me in a bad situation the way you want to see me fail. Put me in the right situation where I can succeed, where I can grow. And then if I ever come tell you, hey, you know what, I'm thinking about being an admin. I see you got a dean position open. Guess what they can say? Not only did I know he did what he did in the classroom, not only did I see what he did when he was coaching, but now I know if I put him in his dean position, he's still going to be the same person that he was in that classroom, that he was on that basketball court, and vice versa. So see, now when you come see me in the dean's office, it's still Mr. Luther, but now it's, hey, Mr. Luther, I know I messed up, but I'm going to be man or woman enough to say, hey, what is it that we can do to keep me in the school? Because I don't want you to put me out on the street. But guess what? I'm not going to put you out on the street. And I'm not going to put you in ISS either. Why? Because I don't want you to miss the opportunities of growing in the classroom. But this is what you're going to have to do to make sure that you not get in the same situation you was in before. That's what a real admin does. An admin makes sure that his kids stay, and he makes sure that he puts his kids in perfect situations to make sure they get what they're going to get. They're going to be uplifted, and they're going to succeed when they leave that school that day to go home. And when they come back, they're still in the same successful situation they was in, even after what they've been through, if it was bad or if it was bad. That's what a real admin does.
Fine.
So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for letting me get that off my chest.
Yeah.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Again, this is why we're bringing special guests on our show. This is to. I feel like a lot of people have a lot on their chest, and I feel like this is a great way to let it all out.
Mm-hmm.
To let it all out. If you got something that you don't like if you have something that you don't like to see in what's going on at your school or at your district or in your classroom, this is the perfect opportunity to let it all out. Express your thoughts and your opinions.
Yes.
So.
And I just came up with some hashtag it stops now. And whatever that means to you, you hashtag it. What needs to stop now?
Mm-hmm.
It stops now. Hashtag it stops now.
All right.
All right. All right. So on Friday's episode, we will talk about
how high crime.
I don't know what we're doing.
On Friday's episode, we will talk about how high crime neighborhoods make it harder for kids to show up at school.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be discussing that on Friday with Mr. Luther. He will be continuing the special guest week on Friday and also into next week, Wednesday and Friday. Again, we'd like to thank him for joining us on this podcast.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes.
In case you have not listened to the first ever broadcast with special guest Mr. Luther, I highly recommend to check it out. We had a great discussion on Monday about, we had a great discussion. You might as well grab some popcorn and grab some snacks or, whatever, because Monday was a great discussion, and so is this episode as well. So make sure you follow Future Educators Talk on Twitter at Future EDU Talk on Twitter. on Instagram at Future Educators Talk, and on Facebook at Future Educators Talk with Demi and Darren. Make sure you like that Facebook page. Also, we're on YouTube as well. Make sure you subscribe to Future Educators Talk with Demi and Darren, and don't forget to tap that notification bell so that you'll be notified when all new episodes come out. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're on Spotify, and also we're now available on all podcast platforms on Spotify, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So all you have to do is just search up Future Educators Talk with Demi and Darren, and boom, right there. You can start clicking the follow page and start listening to it right away.
Yes, indeed. So do that. So you could follow me on my personal page on Instagram at the Damian Anderson, because I am the one and only, of course. And on Twitter at _ Damian Anderson.
And you can follow me on my personal Twitter page at Darren _Fret. Yes, I do worry a lot. And you can follow me on Instagram at It's Andrew Fret.
Alrighty, so I believe that is it from all of us. So, without further ado, I am your co-host, Damian Anderson.
And I'm also your co-host, Darren Fret.
And this is Future Educators Talk with Damian and Darren. We will see y'all on Friday's episode of Future Educators Talk.